This past summer, I made a trip to Bogota, Colombia. I have a lot of friends that live there, and including one girl who's probably one of my closest friends. She and I have spent so much time together over the last few years, but in September of last year, she finally had to go back, um, and it was really hard to not be with her because she and I were always so close. We could talk about anything, but I finally decided that I was going to go visit, and I flew from Austin down to Mexico City, and then from Mexico City to Bogota, Colombia, which is a very very long travel day, including the layover in Mexico, which was about 10 hours, which was absolutely terrible. But I finally arrived, and I left from the airport and walked out through customs. And when I arrived in Colombia, I didn't have any money. I hadn't changed it yet because it's hard to find Colombian pesos at an exchange place in the United States, and it's cheaper to do that in Colombia. So I arrived and I walked out of the airport and couldn't contact anyone. Someone was supposed to come and pick me up, but I didn't know what their car looked like or anything. And Bogota was very cold because it's up in the mountains, and it was dark and at night, and everything kind of had this mystery to it, and I didn't really know where I was supposed to be going or who I was supposed to be looking for. Um, and as I was waiting, and a lot of time passed, and I was getting to be a little bit nervous because I didn't know if she was going to come and be able to pick me up. So as time continued to pass, I started to consider, where am I going to stay tonight? Like I don't know anyone. I don't know any hotels, or I don't have any money to take a taxi to a hotel, and I can't go back into the airport uh, and stay there. And I started to get very very nervous until finally this car was going past me in the terminal, and then it screeched to a stop, and and the door all of a sudden opened, and it was my closest friend. She was there right in front of me, and she looked at me and goes, there you are," and so I put all my stuff in the car, and we got in and we sped off. But it was the nicest feeling being in that car and seeing her face to face, because all of a sudden I went from being in this area that was just so completely foreign to me to almost being home, because she was right there in front of me, and we could just talk, and it was like there was no distance between us all of a sudden. And it was a beautiful feeling, even though I was in the car with somebody that I didn't know. Just to be with her was such a comfort that it immediately unraveled all of the nerves that I had built up in those hours and hours waiting there at the airport. I guess you could say that she arrived on Colombian time, which means that they're a couple hours late, but everything's gonna be fine.